At the foot of the towering Flatirons lies the town of Boulder, Colorado. Known predominantly as the home of Colorado University, it also contains another institution dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge. Northwest of Devil's Grief lies the Hollow Fort Bandit Camp, or what we know today as the Mesa Laboratory. Unlike many of the sites we have previously explored in this series, harkening back to gold booms in the Wild West, the history of this particular site is rooted closer to the Second World War. Though departments of various universities were dedicated to the scientific investigation of our atmosphere previously, the 1940s saw these programs grow rapidly, as weather officers of the US military were sent to learn the fundamentals of meteorology. From daily forecast predictions to D-Day preparations, these scientific leaps played essential roles in strategic planning for military ops. Discoveries fundamental to the science, such as the discovery of jet streams, came from this era in history, paving the way for future advancements. Post-war, however, without vested interest from an engulfed military, the field suffered. The early 1950s saw the field of meteorology shrink to the smallest percentage of doctoral degrees of any scientific discipline. Roughly 90% of American meteorologists were employed by the federal government during this era, and were mostly relegated to weather forecasting and research towards understanding fundamental problems posed by the atmosphere. Luckily, this would change. In response to the situation, in 1956, a committee was held by the National Academy of Sciences. Recognizing the importance of the field and its lack of resources, the committee planned to establish an international institute, to then be supported by a substantial increase in funding for atmospheric research. Backed by the National Science Foundation, in 1960, the National Center for Atmospheric Research, or NCAR, began operations in Boulder, Colorado. In 1967, the Mesa Laboratory was completed, becoming the primary facility for the scientific organization. As of our present day, the lab still works towards advancements in a variety of subjects, including weather, water, climate, atmospheric chemistry, and much more. Though the NCAR is not named specifically within the lore, its presence in-game may hint towards the organization addressing pre-zero-day challenges the world faced before the end. According to Horizon, being that the 2030s were defined by a horrible climate crisis that claimed the lives of some billion people, one would think that a hub for atmospheric studies, such as the Mesa Laboratory, would have been at the center of solving this global catastrophe, as well as reversing its devastating effects over the next decade during the clawback. In this, it may be possible that some of the individuals working at Mesa may have been on the team who designed the AI Vast Silver. Created as a climate intervention and regulation AI, they may have been some of the most qualified to work on the meteorological side of the project. Additionally, being some of the most prominent scientists in this field, it's more than likely that many of these same individuals would have at least been approached to contribute to the efforts of Project Zero Dawn, specifically concerning the Aether subfunction. After Minerva deactivated the swarm some 50 years post-Zero Day, one of the first actions Gaia would have had to take to restoring the planet would be repairing the ravaged atmosphere, a task made possible by many of the achievements that most likely were rooted from advancements made by the NCAR as well as the Mesa Laboratory. It should be said that though I find these speculations to be likely, once again, these involvements in Project Zero Dawn as well as Vast Silver are only, at this time, speculations. In the 31st century, this proud institution, like so many from the world of the old ones, lies in ruins. Though crumbled and defiled, its unique architecture can still be seen. The definitive geometric shapes of the buildings were inspired by the Anasazi cliff dwellings at Mesa Verde, adding yet another layer to the history of this place. After Aloy and Nil were able to clear the site of the bandit filth that had taken the facility, its new inhabitants are of a much more peaceful persuasion and are simply thankful to have a safe haven in the rugged and often dangerous world of Horizon. Though the laboratory may only be a cursed pile of rubble to the Nora peoples and the scientists who worked within long gone from this world, if the NCAR did aid in the clawback as well as the efforts of Zero Dawn, their work has endured, and was most likely instrumental in bringing the world back from the barren rock that it may have been forever. And that brings our journey to an end. If you'd like to see more content like this, likes and shares are always appreciated, and if you really like what we're doing at the channel, come join our community and hit that subscribe button. Also consider supporting the channel on Patreon to help us create new series and tackle new projects just like this one. Check out the link in the description. And as always, thanks for watching and keep questing.